butt all day playing video games, that's why.
Why can't these two industries just get along?
On the contrary, I mourn.
Okay.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst movies based off video games.
I got rid of the body.
I've been there for hours!
I brought you breakfast.
Safe to say, we had plenty of contenders for this list, so not all of them can make it on here. We're gonna judge these films based on a balance of their treatment to the source material and just how appalling they are to viewers, both gamers and non-gamers alike.
Get ready, fight!
Number 10, Doom. We're gonna start things off with a trip to Mars, which doesn't have the badass gates of hell like in the games, but rather an artificially made chromosome that, get this, turns you into a monster, but only if you're evil.
10% of the human genome is still unmapped. Some say it's the genetic blueprint for the soul.
If that wasn't cringeworthy enough for you, you also have a cast of extremely unlikable characters.
Shit like that gets under your skin, though.
Not even The Rock can salvage this mess.
Because Carmack's condition is that
He's dead.
In a last-ditch effort, the film tries to replicate the game with a first-person shooter segment, but then ends with a fistfight. Fail.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
Number 9, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. We only had enough room for one Street Fighter film on this list, but while the original had one redeeming factor of a notably frail Raul Julia as Bison,
For I beheld Satan, and he fell from heaven like lightning!
Legend of Chun-Li has nothing redeemable, turning the Southeast Asian dictator M. Bison into an Irish property developer.
All these waterfront slums will soon belong to Chatelau.
Location, location, location.
And the horrible miscasting of Kristen Cruack as the Chinese Chun-Li.
Life was hard on these streets.
You best steer clear of this mess.
No wonder you wear a mask. I'd hide that face too.
Number 8, Double Dragon. Double Dragon is set in the not-too-distant future of 2007, where Los Angeles is now a flooded city with Technicolor gangs roaming the streets, and the main villain is Robert Patrick playing Vanilla Ice.
I just want total domination of one major American city. Is that too much to ask for? Is it?
Yet, with all the goofy action scenes and its out-of-nowhere Andy Dick cameo,
all the Smog fans in New Angeles won't blow this away, so if you have a Smog fan, stay near it. And if you don't, get a job.
Double Dragon's treatment of the source material is best summed up in one scene. Number 7, Resident Evil: Apocalypse, and onwards. Paul Anderson's treatment of the horror franchise feels more like fan fiction than a real adaptation.
Please, look. My shit is custom.
Writing his wife into the series as an overly powered main character who has nothing to do with the games just spits on the original fan base.
What do you think you're doing?
And yet, while the first film was okay, starting from Apocalypse, the series just kept going downhill.
Why am I not surprised?
So, instead of reduxing this list every 2 years as the sequels inevitably dribble out, we're just gonna go with the one that started the downward trend.
I think we should be out of here by sunrise.
Number 6, Max Payne. While this film tries to be a bit more faithful to the source material, its key problem lies in directing. Bad decisions in pacing make the main character unlikable for the majority of the film, not helped by the fact that Max is played by Marky Mark Wahlberg.
Why the hell do you think I'm talking to you?
But hey, as long as the John Woo-inspired action scenes are here, it should be alright, right? No, they screwed those up too. Number 5, Super Mario Bros. There are so many questions about this film that we think those who made it got confused.
What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continue to thrive and evolve into intelligent, vicious, aggressive beings? Just like us.
How are the leads supposed to be brothers when they're different ethnicities and are 20 years apart?
Mario here brought me up. My father, you know, my father, my uncle, my brother, everybody.
That's even more confusing. Also, why is the Mushroom Kingdom a dystopian city? And why do the Goombas look like... well, why do they look like that? This is the first video game adaptation, and sadly, the trend hasn't gotten much better.
Monkey!
Number 4. Blood Rayne. If you're not familiar with the name Uwe Boll, you will be by the end of this video.
Can I see your teeth?
This vampire movie, based so poorly off the game that they didn't even get the time period right, is filled with laughably poor action sequences, a confusing storyline.
Why do you tell me this? Because it's my purpose.
And despite getting A-grade quality actors like Ben Kingsley, Michelle Rodriguez, and Michael Mason, they give up performances like they clearly don't want to be there.
This is the end of Brimstone.
Number 3. House of the Dead. Yet another Uwe Boll masterpiece. This film has a group of annoying spring break teenagers head to a rave hosted on a remote island, of all places, which has since been overrun by zombies. The plot is very inconsistent. One minute the teens are running for their lives, the next they're pulling off Matrix moves in Kung Fu. And what does this all have to do with the game? That's a good question.
What are you doing? They're gonna kill you.
I'm dead already.
Number 2. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. While the first Mortal Kombat movie was enjoyable, its sequel dashed our hopes of ever seeing an amazing video game film.
I don't have time for these stupid games!
Recasting 3 of the 5 returning characters and killing off one of them. Horrendous CGI effects, costumes that wouldn't pass at Comic-Con, and laughable dialogue make up the laundry list of its offenses.
Mother. You're alive. Too bad you will die.
It says a lot when the only redeeming factor is the recycled theme song from the first film.
The merger has begun. Earth is under attack. And it is glorious!
Before we get to the bottom of the barrel, let's have a look at some dishonorable mentions.
Belikov needs to die.
I don't care about that.
Yo, I don't see any of the Hornets we flew back at the academy. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I do see? Blonde.
Now, we're even.
Max? You know this guy? Oh, jeez. He looks rough. Good thing he doesn't know you're banging his niece.
Number 1. Alone in the Dark. The cream of the crop of Uwe Boll's abysmal resume, a film that's so bad, the worst part comes before the camera even starts running.
In 1967,
For a film that's called Alone in the Dark, barely anyone is ever alone at any given time. What constitutes horror in this film is turning the light switches on and off again, as well as casting Tara Reid as a scientist.
I thought you were dead, you asshole.
This film is the very reason why we listed Uwe Boll as the #1 worst director in Hollywood.
They're all coming here for a reason. Until we know what that is, we're not going to be able to stop them.
Do you agree with our list?
Of course!
Which terrible adaptations ruined your favorite franchises? For more hideous top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.